Missouri v. Holland. This case was brought before the United States Supreme Court by the state of Missouri in an attempt to prevent Ray Holland, a game warden of the U.S. federal government, from trying to enforce the Migratory Treaty Act of 1918. This bill was the enactment statute of a treaty previously signed between the U.S. and Great Britain that served to regulate the capturing, killing, and selling of protected migratory birds. The state of Missouri argued that the statute to be enforced by Holland was unconstitutional because it was an interference under the 10th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. The 10th Amendment is the section of the Bill of Rights that states powers that are not delegated under the federal government's enumerated powers are reserved for the states. Using this, the state of Missouri argued that Holland's attempts to enforce the statute were unconstitutional and against the sovereign right of Missouri because there was not an explicit reference of regulation of the hunting of migratory birds under the federal government's enumerated powers. The government responded with a motion to dismiss the case on the basis that acts of Congress are constitutional. This case raised the question of whether treaties are the supreme law of the land when made under the authority of the federal government of the U.S. When trying to answer this question, the justices of the court looked to the United States v. Curtis Wright Export Corp case. It was in this case that the Supreme Court stated that powers of external sovereignty had been given from the British Crown to the colonies collectively as the United States, not individually to each state. The justices ruled that the states are seen as a unit in foreign affairs, and that power in the international sphere be vested in the federal government. The court then held that yes, treaties are the supreme law when made under the authority of the federal government, but a treaty cannot be valid if it infringes upon the Constitution. Valid treaties are binding within the territorial limits of states. Therefore, the Migratory Bird Treaty Act is the supreme law of the land and is binding upon Missouri. The court decided that the treaty and statute both be upheld. The final judgment of the Supreme Court in the Missouri v. Holland case led to the belief that Congress and the President have the power to amend the Constitution when they create treaties with other countries.